Hello everyone, welcome back. If you love coin. Most people see a quarter as nothing more than 25 cents. It buys you a piece of candy, a parking meter minute, or just sits mixed with dimes and pennies in a coin jar. But what if I told you that even a common quarter from the late 1990s could carry a story? And sometimes, a little more value than you expect. Today we are going to look closely at the 1998 Washington quarter, a coin struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and we will walk through its background, its design, what fine condition really means for a coin like this, what its value is in today's U.S. market, and why some examples of this same date and mint mark can end up selling for much more than you'd think. The Washington quarter is one of America's most familiar coins. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a standard in American currency. The design by John Flanagan features a bust of Washington on the front end, at least until 1998. A heraldic eagle on the reverse. By the late 1990s, this design had been in circulation for more than 60 years. And millions upon millions of them were being produced every year. In 1998, the Philadelphia Mint struck an incredible 268,000 quarters, that's nearly 900 million pieces. With such a high mintage, it's no wonder that the 1998 quarter is still very easy to find in circulation today. Almost every roll of quarters you search will yield at least a few from that year. The P mint mark on the obverse, to the right of Washington's ponytail ribbon, identifies it as a Philadelphia coin. Now, let us talk about grading, because condition is everything in numismatics. When we say a coin is in fine condition, we're reusing a specific grade term. Fine generally means a coin has been in circulation for quite some time and shows obvious wear. But the design details are still visible. On a Washington quarter in fine grade, Washington's hair will appear smooth and worn, especially at the highest points, but the main outlines are still clear. His cheek and jaw may look flat, and the eagle on the reverse will have most of its body worn down, but you can still make out the wings, the legs, and the general design. The rim is usually intact, and the lettering around the coin is still legible. It's far from pristine, but it's also not a beat-up coin with almost nothing left to see. So what does that mean for value? A 1998 Washington quarter in fine condition is, in most cases, still worth about face value 25 cents. In some cases, collectors who are filling a date and mint mark set might pay a little more. Maybe $1 or $2 at most. For a clean example, the truth is, because nearly 900 million were minted, there is no scarcity in the market. The ordinary fine condition 1998 quarter is one of the most common modern quarters you'll find. And coin dealers usually have them in bulk, so the value is low. But here's where things get more interesting. Not every 1998 quarter is ordinary. There are a few factors that can take a common 25-cent coin and boost its value much higher. One of those factors is strike quality. Collectors look for coins that are well struck, meaning the details are sharp and complete. On Washington quarters, some collectors focus on the eagle's breast feathers on the reverse. A weak strike means those feathers are flat and indistinct, but a strong strike shows crisp details. Strong strikes, especially in higher grades, are always more desirable and can command a premium. Another factor is mint errors. Mistakes happen at the mint, and when they do, the coins often become collectible. Some 1998 quarters have been found with off-center strikes, die cracks, doubled dies, or other striking anomalies. A doubled die can show up as doubled letters or numbers on the coin, especially in the date or in the motto, "In God We Trust." An off-center strike is when the design is not properly centered on the coin, leaving part of it blank and part of it crowded. These kinds of errors can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds of dollars, depending on how dramatic and well-preserved the error is. For example, a simple die crack might be interesting but worth only a few dollars. while a major off-center error with more than half the design missing could bring in much higher bids at auction. High-grade mint state coins are another area where value jumps. While a fine coin is heavily worn, a mint state coin shows no circulation wear and retains its original luster. Collectors and grading services like PCGS and NGC assign grades from MS60 all the way to MS70. A 1998P graded MS65 or higher, with strong strike and clean surfaces, can be worth significantly more than face value. Some recorded sales show certified MS66 examples selling for dozens of dollars, and rare superb gems in MS67 or MS68 can push into the hundreds. While those values are reserved for the very best preserved coins, they demonstrate the potential range of this date and mint mark. Proofs are also worth mentioning. Although Philadelphia generally produces circulation strikes, the 1998 proof quarters were struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark. So if you see a 1998 S, that S a proof and not the same as the 1998 P. Proof coins are specially made for collectors with mirror-like fields and frosted designs. They were never intended for circulation, and in top grades, they can be worth considerably more. So don't confuse a 1998 S proof with a 1998 P circulation coin. They are very different in terms of how they were made and how they revalued. If you rechecking your change for a 1998 P quarter, here's what you should do. Start with a magnifier or a good phone camera. Look at the mint mark to confirm it is indeed a P. Then examine the date and lettering carefully for any signs of doubling or unusual distortions. Check Washington S profile and hair to gauge the grade. Is it just worn smooth? Or are there still sharp lines? Flip to the reverse and look closely at the eagle, especially the wings and breast. For strike quality, if something looks unusual, compare it to reference images online of known error varieties. If you believe you have something beyond the ordinary, perhaps a doubled die, an off-center strike, or a high-grade example, do not clean it. Cleaning can ruin the natural surfaces of a coin and reduce its value dramatically. Instead, protect it in a coin flip or a soft holder and consider sending it to a grading service for authentication. PCGS, NGC, and Annex are all reputable options that can certify your coin and assign it an official grade. Certification adds credibility and can significantly improve your chances of selling at a good price if you choose to put it on the market. For selling, ordinary fine condition 1998 P quarters are basically just spenders, so you're better off using them for laundry or vending machines. But if you find a higher grade example or an error, that's when selling becomes interesting. Online marketplaces like eBay give you access to collectors who may pay a premium. Coin shows and auctions are another way to reach serious buyers. Always provide clear, detailed photographs and accurate descriptions, especially if you are claiming an error or a high grade, because trust is everything in the coin market. To sum it all up, the 1998 P Washington quarter in fine condition is generally worth only a little more than face value, usually 25 cents to $1 or $2 at most. With nearly 900 million produced, it's simply too common to be scarce. However, hidden among them are rare gems, high-grade mint state coins, unusual error strikes, and dramatic varieties that can command premiums ranging from dozens to hundreds, even thousands of dollars in exceptional cases. That's why coin collecting is so fascinating. You never really know what's hiding in the change you spend every day. So next time you pull a quarter out of your pocket and see the date 1998 with a little P under it, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. It might just be an ordinary fine condition coin worth face value, but there's always a chance it could be something more, something that makes the everyday extraordinary.